You adults may not be keeping score, and you're thinking that that's being fair. But let me tell you, kids keep score. They know the deal. So you can't protect them from some of that stuff. But anyway, congratulations to the Royals. I am glad that they finally won a World Series, first one in about 30 years or so. Well, and there's still some teams that haven't won a World Series. I mean, look, it's what White Sox, Chicago. What was the last time the White Sox won it? It's almost was it 1919? The Black Sox debacle. Isn't that the last time that they won a World Series? So it's almost 100 years, going on 100. Well, the Red Sox were that way, 80 some odd years between their wins, right? Look, 30 years isn't so bad in the greater scheme of things. I do believe that there are some professional baseball teams that still have never won a World Series. So I don't know who they are because I don't no longer follow professional baseball. And I loosely follow professional football, and really the only team that I really care about in professional football is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know I used to like the Patriots, and back in the day of when the Patriots had Pat as their mascot, and was Grogan was the cute quarterback. I always thought he was a scrappy kind of QB, and so yeah, Steve Grogan. That's 80s is probably about the last time I actually paid attention to the Patriots. Really, I mean, I'm not a Patriots fan, but look, I've often said it. Tom Brady is arguably probably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Can't take away his skill. He's not he can't move. He's not swift. Sometimes he's not pretty, but he's kind of like the Larry Bird, I guess, of football. He can be ugly at what he does, but he definitely has the capabilities of getting the job done, no matter how. And sometimes there's beauty in that ugliness. Look, I don't care how pretty you think Tom Brady is. That's irrelevant to me. It really. I mean, yeah, he's a good-looking guy, but I don't care. Frankly, I don't think his wife is all that pretty. Giselle, not my type. I don't. What are you, crazy, man? She's gorgeous. No, I don't think so. It's okay. She's not a dog, but she's okay. But hey, a lot of people, guys, think that she's gorgeous. Fine, that's good for them. I don't have to follow the pack. Never have. Never will. Why I do this show. So Obama signs his 2-year budget deal. And basically, Washington just sticks its nose up at the rest of us, the American people who are saying, no more debt spending. No more. What good is having... we never get this question asked or answered. What good is having a debt ceiling if all you're going to do when you come knocking up to it is you just go ahead and raise it? What good is having it? I have been asking this question ever since they every time they say, "Oh no, we're gonna come up against a debt ceiling. We gotta raise a debt ceiling, or else all hell's gonna break loose." So everybody, every country, and every the economies are gonna crash and blah. So why have a debt ceiling limit then? I mean, if all we're going to do is every time we come up close to it is just decide, well, we'll just raise it. Well, what good is having it? Well, I guess they've decided, Boehner and Obama and McConnell and Reid and Pelosi have decided, yeah, what good is having a debt ceiling? And so I guess the whole deal is to suspend the debt ceiling limit for the next year and a half or so. So that, whatever Obama wants to spend now, doesn't got to worry about debt ceiling limit. So now it is out there that Obama is the $20 trillion man. There were people that were saying back when he was elected in his first term that they were saying that the way this guy likes to spend, that by the time he leaves office, our debt would be closer to $20 trillion. Man, they do not realize how accurate they were. And I remember all these wonderful liberals and Democrats and other people who were in support of the first black president in American history. Oh, no, don't be so negative and pessimistic. You know, he's going to control his spending. He's going to control the debt. It's never even going to get, past 10. It won't get past 10 or 12 trillion. Well, let me tell you something. He blew past 10 and 12 trillion without even looking back and slowing down. And with less than a year and a half left in his final term, he's standing at 18 trillion, over 18 trillion, knocking on the $20 trillion door. So I don't know where this guy is going to stop. Or if he will stop. When Mr. Obama took off, and this is from the Washington Times, when Mr. Obama took over in January 2009, the total national debt stood at $10.5 trillion. That means the debt will have very nearly doubled during his 8 years in office, and there is much more debt ahead with the abandonment of sequestration spending caps that were enacted back in 2011. So Congress and the president have just agreed to undo one of the only successful fiscal restraint mechanisms in a generation. I don't know how successful they think that. We're at over $18 trillion. How successful was it? How successful was sequestration? It wasn't. I mean, look, this is what I'm talking about not knowing where you're coming from and not knowing and questioning, because there are a bunch of people out there that'll just look at this and say, oh, well, the sequestration was a success. It was an abysmal failure. Now, granted, it was originally designed to try to keep people like Obama in check. It was originally designed so we wouldn't add to the debt. But obviously, one, the original sequestration bill that eventually became law was weakened. And two, it obviously didn't stop the president from spending. The president is just, and the Democrats have opened up the checkbook, national checkbook, and have been writing checks ever since 2009. There has been no success but you have all these wonderful people out there who are now, voters who are thinking, yes, sequestration, they said it was a success, but now we got rid of it, so, oh well. No, it was not a success. It was a total abject failure. But then again, as it was signed into law, it wasn't designed to really stop anyone from spending us further into debt. Well, I mean, let's face it. Republicans under Boehner and certain others, McConnell, the Congress had no guts or will to stop the spending. No, not at all. I don't know. Some people will not get it anytime soon, but I am all for a balanced budget amendment. You strip out national emergency and military from it, and the rest of it has to be balanced. I'm sorry, but you can't constrain our military because we don't know what is going to be needed or how they're going to be called into action or what they're going to be called to do and how much that's going to cost. So really, you need to be able to be flexible with military. And again, with national, you can budget so much for national disasters for a year, but you don't know if you're going to get another Katrina or something worse or a major earthquake or something. You can't fully budget for that kind of stuff that you don't know about. The other stuff, yes, that should be balanced. We shouldn't be spending our I think forget our kids and grandkids. We're now stealing from the piggy banks of our great grandkids. I mean, these are, hell, we're stealing from children whose parents haven't even been born yet. Put that in perspective. We are stealing from the piggy banks of American citizens whose parents have not even been born yet. Whose grandparents are probably not even born yet. Think about that. And we just keep piling on, and we keep getting these idiots and these jackasses from the left who want to spend and spend even more. Look at Bernie Sanders. His budget alone, if he gets everything that he wants, his budget alone would cost $18 trillion. Now, if we have an economy and taxes that only bring in 3 or 4 trillion, where do you think that other 14 trillion is going to come from? It's going to be in the form of debt. So, in other words, in one term of a Bernie Sanders presidency, overnight we go from 20 to 34 trillion in debt. Bam. And it doesn't stop because we all know that government programs never cease. They never get taken down. That's the truth. It never gets taken down. They always stay. Government programs, once enacted, seem to have a life of their own, and they're immortal. I don't know why that is. Because if something doesn't work out in the private sector, the people get, they get rid of it. They change it. They revamp it. They start over if necessary. No, not our government. You get programs that don't work, no, just throw more money at it. It'll work eventually. But they're not designed to work. That's the problem. Because there are certain things that government, because it's government, is not designed to do. No matter what kind of form of government you have. It's not designed to do that. That is not... if you just look at it's not universally capable of becoming a success. It has nothing to do with, it's just the way government is. There are certain things that each individual must do for themselves, and works better if they do it themselves. And there are certain things that are better if there's a central a support and central command. The military obviously works best when you have central command. But social programs work best at the individual level, not involving government. There is no central command for social programs because it doesn't work. And it can't work, especially at this level, at this size of government, because of the massive size and the massive amount of money. It just isn't capable of working. I don't care who you are. Yeah, hey, these people, young people are told, well, it can work. It can work, man. We just got to tax the hell out of some people that you don't like rich people. who already pay the bulk of taxes.